Welcome back, tennis fans, to another massive update right here on the channel. Today, we are breaking down a spectacular clash that has sent shockwaves of excitement not just to the stadium in Austria, but all the way across the globe, particularly resonating deeply within the Philippines. We are talking about the first round of the 2026 Upper Austria Ladies LINZ Open, an event steeped in history, drama, and world-class athleticism. The headline of the hour: Philippine tennis sensation and current world number 29, Alexandra Eala, has successfully navigated a tremendously tricky first-round encounter against a local Austrian favorite and two-time WTA 125 champion, JULIA GRABHER. Eala held her nerve, showcased her undeniable championship pedigree, and emerged victorious in straight sets, taking the match 6-4, 6-3. But to simply read out the scoreline would be doing a massive disservice to the sheer intensity, the tactical warfare, and the heavy emotional stakes that characterized every single rally of this phenomenal contest. Let us set the stage for you. The LINZ Open is not just any tournament on the calendar. As of this 2026 season, the tournament has undergone a massive transformation, shifting to indoor clay courts. This change in surface completely alters the physics of the game, slowing down the pace, increasing the height of the bounce, and heavily favoring players who can grind from the baseline, construct points with heavy topspin, and endure grueling physical rallies. Entering this arena, Alexandra Eala carried the weight of unprecedented expectations. Just last month, in March 2026, she achieved a historic milestone, rocketing to a career-high ranking of world number 29. She is the first Filipino player in the Open era to break into the top 30, a trailblazer who has single-handedly put her nation on the global tennis map in a way we have never seen before. Her unbelievable run in 2025, where she dismantled major champions like IGA Swiatek and Madison Keys, proves she was no longer just a rising star or a promising junior. She had arrived as a legitimate, top-tier contender capable of trading blows with the absolute titans of the sport. On the other side of the net stood JULIA GRABHER, a seasoned 29-year-old veteran from Austria who knows the intricacies of clay court tennis better than almost anyone. GRABHER is a two-time WTA 125 champion, a player whose entire game is built around a heavy, punishing forehand and a relentless work ethic. For GRABHER, the LINZ Open is not just another stop on the tour. It is her home tournament. The crowd was naturally firmly in her corner, eager to see their compatriot defend the home soil. The psychological pressure of playing a home tournament can be a double-edged sword. It can lift a player to euphoric heights on the wings of crowd support, or it can crush them under the suffocating weight of local expectations. GRABHER came out swinging, looking to use the slow indoor clay to her advantage, aiming to pin Eala deep behind the baseline and extract errors from the young Filipina's racket. The first set was a masterclass in tension. Both women recognized the immense importance of taking early control, and as a result, the set stayed tightly on serve for the opening exchanges. However, it was Eala who found herself under the microscope in the early goings. The 20-year-old Filipina was forced to dig deep, practically emptying the tank to hold her serve. GRABHER's heavy topspin forehand was kicking up aggressively on the indoor clay, forcing Eala to strike the ball from uncomfortable heights. The sheer intensity reached a boiling point in the seventh game of the match. With Eala serving, the two warriors engaged in an absolute marathon. They went to deuce an incredible 7 times in that single game. 7 times, Eala stared down the barrel. 7 times, she found a way to survive, showcasing a level of mental fortitude that belies her age. She saved break points, she hit through the nerves, and she ultimately held serve in a game that felt like it shifted the entire tectonic plates of the match. Having survived that brutal trial by fire, Eala's confidence visibly surged. The breakthrough finally arrived in the crucial 10th game. With GRABHER serving to stay in the set at 4-5, Eala ratcheted up her baseline aggression. She earned a set point, only for GRABHER to snatch it away with a clutch ace, followed by earning a game point of her own. But Eala, refusing to be denied, uncorked a blistering cross-court forehand to bring it back to deuce, subsequently creating another set-point opportunity. Under the immense pressure of Eala's relentless depth, GRABHER sent a ball wide, handing the opening set to the Filipina 6-4. The second set saw Eala immediately attempt to capitalize on her momentum, securing a break in the fourth game to race out to a 3-1 lead. But Grabher, showing the fighting spirit of a true Austrian champion, refused to fade away quietly. The local hero clawed her way back, breaking Eala in the seventh game to cut the deficit to 4-3, and threatening to turn the match on its head. Yet, in the truest mark of a champion, Eala responded immediately. She didn't let the setback linger for a second. In the very next game, she broke Grabher right back, establishing a 5-3 lead and stepping to the line to serve for the match. Displaying ice in her veins, Eala closed it out, watching as a final Grabher forehand sailed wide on double match point, sealing the 6-4, 6-3 victory. It was a gritty, hard-fought, beautiful display of professional tennis. And now we transition in. I will provide you with a news title and some key news segments. Please create a highly professional, extensive news script for YouTube to the main body of the script. To truly appreciate the magnitude of this first-round victory, we must first look at the rich tapestry of the tournament itself. The Upper Austria Ladies Linz Open is not merely a tennis tournament. It is a historic institution within the Women's Tennis Association. Originally established in 1987 as a humble $10,000 ITF event in Wels, Austria, it quickly evolved, moving to the Linz Sports Hall in 1991 and gaining official WTA status. Over the decades, the courts of Linz have been graced by absolute royalty of the sport. We are talking about a tournament whose roll of honor includes a staggering 19 former world number 1 players. Champions like the trailblazing Manuela Maliva-Fragnier, the iconic Mary Pierce, the legendary Venus Williams, and the global superstar Maria Sharapova have all hoisted the trophy in Upper Austria. For years, the tournament was known for its fast indoor hard courts, a surface that rewarded big servers and flat, aggressive ball strikers. However, as of this 2026 season, the organizers made a monumental decision to shift the event to indoor clay courts. This is a game changer. Indoor clay is a highly unique and relatively rare surface on the professional tour. It lacks the wind and sun elements of traditional outdoor clay, meaning the conditions are perfectly pristine, but it retains the slow pace and high balance characteristics of crushed brick. Players can slide, they can grind, and point construction becomes an intricate game of physical chess. For Alexandra Eala, whose game was heavily refined on the red dirt of the Rafa Nadal Academy in Spain, this surface change presented a fascinating opportunity. For JULIA GRABHER, who grew up playing on European clay, it was supposedly an equalizer against a higher-ranked Filipina. This clash of styles and backgrounds on this newly laid indoor clay added an incredibly rich layer of narrative to the match. We cannot overstate the significance of Alexandra Eala's presence on this court. Born in Quezon City, Philippines, in May 2005, Eala's journey from Southeast Asia to the upper echelons of the WTA Tour is a story of unprecedented dedication and generational talent. In a country where basketball and boxing traditionally dominate the sporting landscape, Eala has carved out a unique and inspiring path. Introduced to the sport at the age of 4 by her grandfather, her prodigious talent was evident early on, leading her to relocate halfway across the world to Mallorca, Spain, to train at the prestigious Rafa Nadal Academy. Her junior career was nothing short of legendary. She reached the pinnacle of junior tennis by becoming the world number 2 and capturing the 2022 U.S. Open Girls Singles Championship, the very first junior Grand Slam singles title ever won by a Filipino. But as any tennis historian will tell you, transitioning from a junior prodigy to a successful professional is notoriously difficult. The professional tour is an unforgiving grind, a relentless crucible that breaks many talented youngsters. Eala, however, did not break. She adapted, she grew stronger, and she evolved. Her true arrival on the massive stage happened in 2025, entering the WTA 1000 event in Miami as a wild card ranked outside the top 100. Eala produced a run that will be etched in tennis history. She defeated major champions Yelena Ostapenko and Madison Keys before achieving the unthinkable, taking down the dominant force of women's tennis, Iga Swiatek. Although she eventually fell in the semifinals to Jessica Pegula, Eala had shattered the glass ceiling. She proved she possessed the firepower, the defensive agility, and the tactical intelligence to beat the very best in the world. Fast forward to today. Sitting at a career-high number 29, she is no longer the underdog looking for an upset. She is a seeded player, the favorite, the target. Facing Julia Grabher and Linz, Eala had to manage not just her opponent, but her own new reality as a top 30 player expected to win these matches consistently on the other side of the net. Julia Grabher represented a distinct and dangerous threat. While her ranking may not mirror Eala's current heights, dismissing Grabher on a clay court is a fatal mistake for any player. Grabher represents the classic European clay court specialist. She doesn't blow opponents off the court with sheer pace. Instead, she suffocates them with heavy spin, meticulous placement, and an iron will. Having secured multiple WTA 125 titles, Grabher knows exactly what it takes to win at the professional level. Furthermore, Grabher was played with the emotional backing of the Austrian crowd. The atmosphere in Linz is famously intimate and passionate. Every point Grabher won was met with thunderous applause, echoing through the indoor arena. For Grabher, this match was an opportunity to claim a massive scalp on home soil, to derail the momentum of one of the tour's brightest young stars, and to prove that her brand of gritty, clay court tennis is still highly effective against the modern, explosive game that Eala brings to the table. The pressure was on her to perform for her home fans, but it also provided her with an adrenaline reserve that Eala had to constantly suppress. When we look closely at the tactical execution of this match, the brilliance of Alexandra Eala's performance becomes strikingly clear. The 6-4, 6-3 scoreline suggests a comfortable straight sets win, but the reality on the court was a grueling physical battle. The match was ultimately decided in the trenches of the baseline rallies. Grabher's primary weapon is her heavy forehand. Her strategy was transparent from the first ball. Loop heavy topspin deep into Eala's backhand corner. Push the Filipina back off the baseline, and wait for a short ball to attack. On outdoor clay, the high bounce might cause Eala more trouble, but the pristine conditions of the indoor clay allowed Eala to step inside the baseline and take the ball on the rise. Eala's two-handed backhand, a shot she has honed to near perfection, held up remarkably well under the barrage. Instead of retreating, Eala absorbed Grabher's pace and spin, redirecting the ball down the line to expose Grabher's movement. The turning point of the match, unquestionably, was the seventh game of the first set. Eala was serving and the score was tied. This game became a microcosm of the entire match. 7 deuces. Breakpoint saved. It was a brutal test of lungs and legs. Grabher was throwing everything she had at the Filipina, try to break her spirit early. If Grabher had won that game, the momentum of the entire arena would have shifted, and the first set could easily have slipped away from Eala. But Eala's incredible resilience, her ability to hit a high-quality first serve when facing a breakpoint, her refusal to hit unforced errors under pressure, broke Grabher's resolve. By holding that service game, Eala sent a clear message: I am not going away, and I am willing to suffer to win. When the break finally came for Eala in the 10th game, it was a result of sustained, accumulated pressure. Grabher, having expended so much energy trying to break Eala, finally blinked on her own serve. Eala's forehand, which she can flatten out incredibly well, proved to be the decisive weapon, piercing through Grabher's defenses and clinching the set 6-4. The second set highlighted Eala's maturity. After going up 3-1, many young players might have relaxed, assuming the match was over. When Grabher broke back to make it 4-3, the Austrian crowd came alive, sensing a comeback. It is precisely in these moments that a player's true character is revealed. Eala did not panic. She did not change her game plan. She immediately reset, stepped up her aggression on Grabher's serve, and broke right back for 5-3, effectively ripping the heart out of the Austrians' comeback attempt. Serving for the match, Eala was clinical, taking advantage of a deflated opponent to secure her spot in the second round. Eala noted in her post-match interview that she felt she maintained her intensity perfectly, a crucial self-assessment that shows her growing understanding of match management. With his victory safely secured, Alexandra Eala now looks toward the second round, and the draw has thrown up an absolute blockbuster. Eala is slated to face the formidable Jelena Ostapenko of Latvia. Tennis fans will immediately recognize the significance of this matchup. It was against Ostapenko, a former French Open champion known for a ferocious, hit-or-miss ball striking, that Eala secured one of her monumental victories during her historic 2025 Miami Open run. This upcoming second-round clash will be an entirely different beast than the match against Grabher, where Grabher relied on spin and consistency. Ostapenko relies on overwhelming, sheer power. The Latvian will look to hit Eala off the indoor clay courts of Linz, taking massive cuts at the ball from both wings. For Eala, the tactical objective will shift dramatically. She will need to transition from the aggressor to the counterpuncher, using her exceptional footwork to track down Ostapenko's rockets and utilizing her variety to disrupt the Latvian's rhythm. The indoor clay surface will slightly blunt Ostapenko's pace, giving Eala a fraction of a second more to set up her defensive shots, which could prove to be the critical difference. This next match will be an incredible litmus test to see just how far Eala's defensive game has progressed in the past year. In conclusion, what we witnessed today at the Linz Open was far more than just a standard first-round tennis match. We watched a young superstar, Alexandra Eala, solidify her status as a permanent fixture in elite echelons of the WTA Tour. Winning when you're not playing your absolute best, winning when the crowd is actively rooting against you, and winning by grinding through difficult moments. These are the hallmarks of a champion. Eala's 6-4, 6-3 victory over a relentless JULIA GRABHER was a testament to her tactical evolution, her physical conditioning, and most importantly, her unbreakable mental fortitude. For JULIA GRABHER, while the loss on home soil is undoubtedly painful, she can hold her head high knowing she forced a top 30 player to earn every single point. Her clay court prowess remains formidable, and she will undoubtedly bounce back strongly in the remainder of the European clay court swing. But today belonged entirely to the pride of the Philippines. Alexandra Eala continues to rewrite the history books, inspiring millions back home and proving that with enough dedication, even the wildest dreams can manifest into reality on the professional tour. As Eala prepares to lock horns with Jelena Ostapenko in what promises to be an explosive second-round encounter, the eyes of the tennis world and an entire nation will be firmly fixed on Linz. We will be right here to cover every ace, every rally, and every dramatic twist in that upcoming battle. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the tactics, history, and narrative of today's incredible match, make sure you hit that subscribe button, leave a like on the video, and let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Do you think Alexandra Eala has what it takes to beat Ostapenko again and make a deep run here in Austria? Drop your predictions below. Thank you all for tuning in to this extensive breakdown, and we will catch you in the next one. Stay passionate, stay engaged, and keep loving the beautiful game of tennis.